we relying on such a wonderful teacher as Goshen Rinpoche. There is no doubt we all can enter this stream of blessing and actually open this stream of blessing in our mind and realize the highest absolute truth through, like you say, through relative, like using the methods of relative truth, which is very important. And that's my, when I exited retreat, this was my main goal. So basically, of course, we always have opportunity, we always had opportunity to go and continue on many retreats, but I thought it would be wonderful if we would find a method to turn our daily life into the path to enlightenment, so which like would help many beings, many people to become really yogis, you know, because yogi, as we say, yogi, the path of yogi lies not on in outer not necessarily like outer means of life, or like this reality which we perceive like as a outer something separate from us. It just can be used as a tool in order to travel yogi path, which is actually in our mind. So before continuing teaching, or before starting teaching, I would like us to practice a little bit this wonderful meditation on Vajra recitation. And I believe most of you are familiar with this wonderful teaching, which Garin Puche explained when he was teaching on, when he was giving teaching on Mahamudra Upadesha text. So this is very simplified practice of Tumo, and very profound practice actually, which helps us to calm and balance our mind very quickly through bringing our attention to the main seat of all winds, which is located in the navel area. So basically we visualize the small flame size of lentil in our navel area. If you're familiar a little bit with channel practices, you actually can visualize central channel, which starts below navel and go up to your top of your head. And so at the very base of the central channel is located this small flame size of lentil. And instruction is that as we breathing in, as we inhaling through the nostrils, so the prana travels down to this flame. If it's difficult for you to do all this visualization, you can just visualize as this flame actually inhales. The flame is breathing through the pores of your body. So as you inhale, you recite mentally Om. Then you hold your breath for a very short time, for a few seconds, and you recite mentally Ah. And then you breathe out and recite mentally Hum. So this exercise is like called, like it is an exercise without visualization. Also at the beginning, we kind of place our attention on this small flame at the navel area. So after we like recite Ah, when we're reciting Hum, we release all visualization. This is actually a quick path to the to experience of the nature of mind. And even if you are not very familiar with this exercise, so just holding your attention on this flame bring the energy there, and it helps when you like actually holding your breath and reciting Ah, you can visualize as this flame becomes very bright. And Through this visualization, the winds enter the central channel. And when winds enter the central channel, we experience the nature of mind. You don't need to visualize this winds entering central channel. Just concentrate on the flame when you recite Om Ah, and then reciting Hum. Just allow yourself to release visualization. Do not force it. Just like release it, like make it release by itself. And if you experience the natural mind, allow yourself to stay in this state. Very, very simple exercise, but very profound. And we will do it for next 15 minutes. It is good to start practice, any practice that you do, or like listening to teachings first with this exercise that help to calm, to balance your mind, because then you have this clarity which helps you to absorb information and to see what is important for you, and to understand it better. So, and also, um, if you're able to balance your mind and through concentration on exercise, then it helps to open, or like it helps to remove obstacles or remove this chaotic movement of thoughts, or to calm it. And then when your thoughts are calmed, then awareness, which is natural quality of your mind, start to shine. So basically, this is also a way to experience and stabilize your awareness, which is always the quality of your mind, which is always present in your mind, but we often, it just covered by this chaotic movement of thoughts and emotions. So I would like to continue share my little experience on what I had last week, and we were talking about this is very this topic which worries like many people. We have this very like really beautiful, excellent, very profound teachings, and we have access to the ocean of teachings. The problem is sometimes that there are too many teachings that we are getting overwhelmed. We don't know how to use all that information properly, and sometimes we are drawing in all this information, and we don't know how to properly to apply it in our daily life. Of course, one thing, if we have opportunity to go into long-term retreat and just sit and practice there. But like when we live just daily life, when we have to go to school or to work, when we have children, family to take care of, and the sitting practice, actually, time for sitting practice is very limited. And we don't always know how to make connection between meditation and our daily life. And for me, this is very big and very important topic, because as I told before, the path is actually lies in your mind. And at the beginning, we divide between sitting meditation or between practice, between Dharma in our life. And we sometimes don't know how to make connection, or we know how to make connection in certain aspects of our life, but not in every activity. And sometimes I met before people who were really discouraged. They're telling like we're practicing for many years. Some people practice for 20 years. They took refuge 20 years ago, and they still don't see much progress, or progress is very little. So they discourage. They don't see how is it possible to reach enlightenment quickly, and then they think, okay, maybe next life. And as I told before, we never know what happens next life. We never know what happens in Bordeaux after death. Whatever karmic seeds will be ripening, and depending on whatever will appear in Bordeaux, we might be drawn into different realms, and not necessarily in realm we are aspire to go. So of course, the blessing of Buddha, the blessing of our precious teacher Garchen Rinpoche, gives us inspiration, and we really trust that this blessing will help us to travel to destination which we aspire to travel after our death. But karma is a very tricky thing. Um, it's better to fully to put full attention to our past now in this lifetime, while we actually can control our thoughts. I mean, to some extent, when we have this physical body which helps us to have some stability, like we have this path, because I have this information and have these techniques. So it's very important to turn our full attention right now to this life and learn how we can apply this information that we receive from these precious teachers in our daily life. So it's very important to as we see, we very often we kind of make we divide between practice and between daily life, and we don't know how to transform our daily life into practice. So and here I found it's very important to have clear frame for our practice, and we get information, but everybody is different. So we get general information about bodhicitta, about sadhanas, about 6 parameters. We speak about love, compassion, all these qualities that are present in our mind and which help us to realize nature of our mind. So, but to start, I think like we need to start experiencing the result of our practice in our life. And also we have this goal to reach enlightenment, but many of us don't really understand. I don't tell that everybody doesn't understand, but some of us might not really understand how what really enlightenment is. We have just this vague idea that enlightenment is a state, blissful state of mind, where we actually can, from which we actually can help other beings who are trapped in samsara. But we need to be able to build our own practice. Milarepa told that yogis should be very intelligent, which means we need to use our intelligence in order to apply practice to our specific situation in our daily life, to turn our situations into practice. So there are main components which are present in practice and should be present in our daily life, which we can use in order to unite our daily life with our practice. So, and these components are awareness and concentration and awareness. So, of course, path, we speak about love, compassion, devotion. This is very important components of our practice. But in order to turn the teachings into our practice, we need to bring to practice. We need to bring these components of awareness into our daily life. And how do we do it? So we have this kind of maximum goal, enlightenment. So this is maximum goal, and we not necessarily see how we can reach it. So as I'm talking about technical kind of technicalities of practice, how to build our daily practice. So as I told before, Buddha's like by creating all these teachings or like manifesting all these teachings, this actually helps us to travel past very fast. So basically, Buddha's walk towards us, and Buddha's like giving these teachings, creating all these methods. We can say that Buddha's travel path with us, or like they actually holding us by our hands, but we have to walk. Like also somebody like it's like somebody is holding us by hands. Like we have these teachers who have these enlightened beings that support us, that their blessing is always present, but we also have to make few steps. And these few steps, I'm talking about using your intelligence, using your kind of critical thinking in order to create this frame which will help you to bring your practice into your daily life. So, and this we speak about this maximum goal, biggest goal, it's like reaching enlightenment. Yeah, but we need to create this like to reach these milestones. We need to have like minimum goals. So, and we speak about outer goals and inner goals. The inner goal is always practice of love, compassion, and stabilizing our mind with concentration and awareness. So awareness is a very important part. So, but outer goals is the problems, for example, is like outer goals should be based on our daily life. So if we speak about conquering negative emotions, as I spoke last week, so we have to choose this goal that I want to be free from anger, for example, or I want to conquer my anxiety. I want to help myself to release like stress. So this is very basic goals, and this is something that upon reaching that you actually can see how your life is changing. So my advice, take whatever problem you have in your life, whatever bothers you in your life, if it's relationships or like it's your like problems with colleagues, or it's like your emotions that you feel really make you miserable, or it's your fears, whatever problem you have, take it as your path. So, and you can like create like mini goals. Sometimes our problem is just like not be able to follow daily routine. Like we want to practice, but we postpone. We don't have like routine for our practice, which is very important too. It's very important to have daily sitting practice, if it's even for a very short time. And we all have very busy lives with works, with many responsibilities. So we need to be able to create such a schedule where we are able to practice every day. So whether it's like early morning before we go to work, or is it's like middle of day, or when we have some break, or like it's evening when we're already finishing our day before going to sleep. So even this we can perceive as our goal. So because I found that many people are very talented in practice, many people are experiencing the nature of mind while practice, when doing deity yoga, participating in group chant, or listening to teaching of such profound masters as Garchen Rinpoche. But then when it comes to daily practice, there is instability. So there is instability in schedule, and if we don't have stability in schedule, it's very hard actually to have stability in our practice. Or it's instability in where we cannot decide what practice to do. Like we have so many empowerments, we have so many teachings, and we are not sure what would be right for us. So if we want to transform our daily life into yogi paths, and I mentioned before, like yogi paths is actually lie in our mind. So it's basically taking whatever is manifesting in our life and turning it into practice. In this way, we can actually develop this ability to concentrate and to um, practice awareness. So, for example, as I was talking before, for example, we take our goal to conquer some negative emotion. Yeah, for example, if I have negative emotion like anger, this should be my goal. My minimum goal is to be able to be free from anger. So this is something that is very concrete. Yeah. So and then basically, why we before choosing what goal, before choosing any goal, you have to look and contemplate, what do you want from Dharma? Like, why did you come to Dharma? Why did you take refuge? So everybody, every one of us took refuge, hoping for something. Yeah, having some. If it's like at least some idea, what should it bring to you? Of course, there are some people who just stumble at the Buddhist teachings, just like just seeing some advertisement about enlightenment, about empowerment, and coming to the teachings, which is like of course coming through karmic connection to teachings. But when we take refuge, we we do it because we want to become like our enlightened master, we want to become like him, or we want to have protection in our daily life, or we hope it will improve our life somehow, or give us better rebirths. So there is always some some hope or some idea what do we want. So, and at the beginning we totally rely on outer master, yeah, but in order to reach enlightenment, to build our own path, we have to learn how to rely on inner Lama. And we cannot really learn how to rely on inner Lama if we do not do our work. So relying on inner Lama comes from our experience. When we put knowledge, when we combine knowledge and experience, which results into wisdom, which is actually inner Lama. So, but at the beginning, you have to ponder very well, what do you want from Buddhism? And it's important to be very honest with yourself. That if you want improving in your daily life, yes, you have to tell yourself. You don't need to tell anyone, but you have to be honest. What exactly would you like to improve? You know, like what exactly, where is your imperfection? Any faults or any things that you are not happy with in your life, with yourself. So you have to contemplate and choose like one or a couple problems that you're experiencing. And then, so then you know why do you want to like follow Buddhist path, and actually what do you want from it. So, and this is the kind of your minimum goal. But of course, for example, if you would like to conquer anger, like just this decision to conquer anger is not enough. You have to build this path of skillful means in order to conquer it. So it can be like you like before actually working with it, you need to learn information. Yeah. So just wishing to be free from negative emotion is not enough. Of course, we pray to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We pray to Triple Gem, and it actually helps to the flow of blessing. To it's actually helping when the flow of blessing enters our mind stream, and it is really helping us to travel past very fast. So, but when we're doing our own work, so you need to know, like when you have problem, you need to know what do you need to learn about working with this problem. Yeah? So, and we have so many texts, we have so many teachings, and some people think the more they learn, the closer they become to enlightenment, the closer to travel, the faster they travel to enlightenment. But learning should be like only part of your path. I would say maybe 1/5. You know, you have to like maybe 20% should be learning and 80% should be your application of this learning. So you need to contemplate, you need to use your critical mind in order to learn what you need right now, like in order to work with your problem. And so while working with your problem, you will stabilize your awareness, you will stabilize your mind. So the problem is just a tool in order um, to balance your mind, to stabilize your mind, to work on your flourishing of love and compassion, on your awareness. So, um, so you need to learn what you exactly want, like what you need, the information that you need to, for example, if you need to conquer anger and negative or other negative emotions, you need to know what instruments do you need, like what tools you can apply, the methods. This is actually skillful means that you can apply in working with this, for working with this problem. And so there's so many teachings, yeah, and there are different methods. For example, there's deity yoga, there is working with channels, there's shamatha practice, and so you need to also understand how specific practices can help you with conquering negative emotion. For example, when we speak about shamatha practice, concentration on the object helps to calm your mind. And when your mind is calm, like when karmic habitual tendencies that constantly arise, and when they are actually calm down, then what happens, you experience this space where awareness is present, and you understand that the path to awareness, path to cultivation of awareness is calm, balanced mind. And you understand that balanced mind is reached through practice of concentration. So we're concentrating on an object, or we're concentrating on, in daily practice, we're concentrating on mantra recitation. When we speak about, for example, visualizing ourselves as a deity, and we concentrate on a sit syllable in heart or navel, depending on practice, and we visualize mantra circling that sit syllable. This sit syllable, if we compare it to the shamatha practice, it's like concentration on the object. Yeah, so it's of course practice of deity has a little bit different level, because we speak about purified vision, pure vision of the deity, which actually helps us to learn how to concentrate faster, like helps us to have experience faster. But so through concentration, we calm our mind, and then awareness is there. And we have like this experience that awareness is a result of mind. There is not grasping for whatever it happens. And in order to learn not to grasp for whatever appears, whatever manifests in outer reality or in our mind, we need to concentrate on one object. So then, for example, so we have this understanding. So to this, we can add, like, I'm just taking as example, like practicing with conquering the emotion of anger. So, and then our minimum goal can be like to learn how to concentrate an object to such extent that we are able to calm down our mind, where clarity and awareness are present. So this is already another minimum goal. But of course, in order to practice regularly, we need to have daily routine where we are able actually to sit down and practice it for some time. So, and we have these steps which totally achievable, and we see how we can achieve this calm mind if we follow these steps. And then, for example, when we practice anger in daily, like conquering, like dissolving, transforming anger in daily life, there are different methods which we also can apply. For example, if first we have to be able to notice when we have this negative emotion, and this is already practice of awareness. Ability to notice when you have emotion is already awareness. So, and at the beginning, our awareness might not be very stable. So we are not able to notice emotion when it's just arising, but we are able to notice when it's already manifesting in full strength. So, and then now our goal can be like not to act upon this negative emotion. And there are different methods also, like mini goals. Like my mini goal is to be able not to act upon this emotion. So which can be what? I can leave the situation, go away for a few minutes, or I can decide that for like 5 minutes, I'm not talking, I'm not reacting. Then if you are able to control your emotion, you can react, but with kind of kindness, or you can use methods of deity yoga. You can recite mantra, and that actually energy which is spent which manifests as anger can be manifesting as a mantra. So different methods. But so you need to know about them, and you need to see what method are you capable to practice. Or maybe sometimes when you are in certain situation, your anger is not so strong. You are able to transform it with deity practice, or like But there are some other situations where it's so strong that you are not able to apply that method. So then you have to leave situation. So what I'm talking about, when we build our practice, there is no one method. There will be different methods depending on situation and severity of your emotion. So, and that's how you build your skillful means, and that's your experience. And at the beginning, for example, you can see, okay, this method doesn't work in this situation, but it might be working in different situation. This is like you develop kind of flexibility. This is flow where you are able to have skillful methods to all situations. So in some situations, your skillful method will be this. In another situation, when you feel like more stability and you're stronger, your awareness is very strong, you are able to use this method. And it can be that different days you have different level of concentration, you're in different mood. So basically what we develop, there is no one method. So there's like one negative emotions, but because it is arising with different intensity in different situation, there are different triggers. Yeah, so to different triggers and to different intensity, you need to apply different skillful means. And then at the beginning, like you just trying some things do not work, some things work, but later, and actually very soon, if you apply methods like this, like they will become automatic. So you don't have to think, you don't have to contemplate what you need to try. But also, of course, it's very important to have sitting practice, or a practice where you are able to do it alone. Like, and you need to be able to see the progress. You know, like for example, like if you sit down in evening and you try to recollect your day and think, okay, in this situation, this method didn't work, so what should I do next time? Or like, how should I try to transform it next time? So what I'm talking about, you yourself build your path. Like no Buddha, no Lama can build path for you. They only give you map. They only can give you different methods. And there we speak about like 84,000 of teachings for 84,000 of afflictions. So, but your past is unique. Your karma is unique. And so you have to apply those methods. There is no way to travel past without applications. So, but of course, like at the beginning, you need to get information. What I'm talking about, learn what you need to learn. Like, don't jump right away into like this ocean of information, like where you have no clue what is it about. Yeah, of course, like at the beginning, especially, we think that we need to know everything. And if we don't know something or we don't understand something, we think we get discouraged. So, okay, there is no way I can reach the level of my Lama because my Lama is so knowledgeable. And I need to have as much knowledge as this Lama, as this teacher, in order to reach the same level. No, actually, in order to reach the same level as your Lama, and Garinpoche says that some important things, yeah, it's awareness, loving kindness, compassion, and devotion. So, and we use all these methods in order to, like, we're using our daily experience in order to practice awareness, in order to practice loving kindness. For example, like if your goal is to develop more love, so then we take our daily situation where we feel we don't have enough love, and we create these exercises, yeah, whether like through deity yoga or like through like we create this all these applications, you know, but before we're learning what are the methods to develop more love. like to actually not to develop, because love is also another quality of the nature of our mind. So which means when our mind is calm through practice of shamatha or through practice of deity yoga, so we don't have this inclination to follow negative emotions. And so that when we don't have much negative emotions, so and our mind is calm and clear, the feeling of love and compassion is here. Also, and there are also different methods uh, how to practice love. And so, for example, like we can practice different exercises. Yeah, like Patrul Rinpoche's exercise mm, with white and black rocks. So this is a very good exercise for awareness, which can be used for whatever problem you have, and you need to become aware in your daily life whenever problem is arising. Yeah. So the exercise that Patrul Rinpoche is offering with black and white rocks very helpful to develop awareness of like what we are thinking about. So when we have these two piles of rocks, and when we think something, like we try to figure out whether it's positive thought or negative thought. When it's positive thought, we take white rock. When it's negative thought, we take black rock. At the beginning, it actually doesn't matter. Like we do not try to judge ourselves. So this exercise is helping us to develop this awareness, to stabilize ourselves in this strong awareness, so we are able to actually see what's going on in our mind. So it doesn't matter right now what side I have, like I need to learn how to notice it, how to be aware in that. And so then we can actually apply this awareness practice into being aware of negative emotions or our fears, or like if we think where we don't have enough love and so forth. So first, like I say, like learn all this information you need to perfect your practice. If your goal is develop daily routine for your practice, so then you have to contemplate what is obstacle in your daily practice, what does not allow you to practice every day. Sometimes it's not actually, reason is not that we are very busy, and sometimes it's like we have this inner um, like the inner obstacles that doesn't, whether it's like discouragement or fear that we will not be able to succeed in our practice, we will not be able to reach the level of our Lama Garchen Rinpoche or other enlightenment masters. So there is always some reason why we don't practice enough, and I know for many people this is problem. And it's um, and we don't judge ourselves or others if they don't practice enough. So this actually, we have to find the way, we have to find the reason why we don't do it, and then we have to build strong routine. I remember in my first retreat, my biggest fear when I went for 100-day retreat, my biggest fear was that I will not be able to hold a schedule, really, because I never done retreat before that. I did practices with lamas in temple, and I really liked them, and I thought, okay, it really helps me to stabilize my mind. But I never done like retreat before, and Tragar Rinpoche told me, you need to have 4 sessions. Okay, you need to have 4 sessions, 2 hours each session. So schedule, it's up to you. You can build your schedule the way you want. You can start first session whenever you want, and you can finish your last session whenever you want. But you need to have this routine every day, should be the same schedule. And you need, and Tragar Rinpoche told me, if you start it wrong, if you do not follow schedule, so it actually makes imprint in your mind. Later, it will be very difficult to change it. And then I noticed that outer discipline or like outer routine, this following schedule really helps in stabilizing of mind. So I found that how, when I was able to follow my outer schedule, So it's actually builds this kind of resilience and stability, which then helps you to bring stability in your mind. So basically, when you develop concentration, when you concentrate on object, it's the same way of it's the same discipline. So discipline is the same on outer level and on inner level. So when you're disciplined on outer level, so it does reflect on in your meditation, in your concentration, in your ability to hold concentration on the object. So it's very interesting, yeah. So and at the beginning, I was really, really unsure. Like this was my biggest fear, and so I decided, okay, this is going to be my schedule. There are 4 sessions, and I think this fear also created this uncertainty, um, created kind of this is like created this opposing forces. So I remember at the beginning, first like few weeks, every time, like every time before my session, like for example, I'm starting my session at 2 o'clock, like afternoon, after lunch, and like 10 minutes before session, I just feel this really big discomfort. This very interesting experience because I never said like I wanted to practice. I wanted to sit down on time, and I was actually following this schedule. But every time, like before, like 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before, while I was sitting just before starting my session, they, inside me, there was a thunder inside of me, and I didn't really understand why it was like why. So it's basically like even though on outer level I was following schedule, on inner like inside, I still felt this fear, uncertainty, in this kind of like as if something was opposing, like creating obstacles for me to sit down for session. So, and after some time, when actually it became my daily routine, it was easy. So, but you will experience kind of these obstacles, when your mind will be protesting, when you're creating new habit, like it's, there will be obstacles, and obstacles will be inner, first. And of course, they might manifest as outer obstacles. But the biggest thing is like obstacles coming from your mind. So, and they are manifesting as outer obstacles. Then we say like we don't have time or etc. But it's just like there will be um, this opposing power, coming from your mind, because we have these habitual tendencies. We don't even sometimes know what kind of habitual tendencies we have. So there will be challenges, and our so in order to overcome these challenges, we need to kind of to build new goals, and I say like sitting practice, daily practice, like stability in daily practice for many people is a big challenge. So even if you create goal to make your practice stable, like even if like 15 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day, if you achieve it, you will see like that it will be easier to achieve other goals in your practice, because even creating stable schedule will help you to clarify your mind, like you will see your priorities. You will be able to like see like which things you need to prioritize in order to be able to follow this daily routine in your practice. You will be aware what kind of obstacles, inner and outer, arising, and like the way how to overcome those obstacles. So awareness will kick on. And so this is just one of the example. So basically, when we learn information, then we need to apply it. And application of information, application of the teaching should be like biggest thing. It should take more time or more space in your life than learning. Of course, if you came into Buddhism just in order to get motivated or to get more information, or just you want to learn about Buddhism. Yeah, that's your goal. So, but if you want to become yogis, if you want to transform your mind, so then you have to apply that knowledge in your daily activities. And so when you apply, actually, when you apply this information, you develop new skills. So you might even don't know at the beginning what things you don't know, you know, so it's very vague. It's not clear. So, but while you are developing all the skillful means, you will see that you are like learning new things from yourself, you know. And this we're talking about, you are kind of opening to your inner Lama. So when you combine knowledge and experience, then it's resulting into wisdom, and wisdom is your inner Lama. So as you develop new skillful means, this tiny skillful means, so you rely on your own wisdom more and more and more. So and so then every time you try to apply the new information to into like just like every time you try to use new information, every time you try to apply it to your daily situation, it will be easier. So your wisdom becomes more vast. Right now, I'm not talking about that wisdom that is present when you are abiding in the nature of mind, the wisdom that sees the nature of everything that is arising. I'm talking about wisdom that is resulting from using your skillful means, turning your life into the yogic path. So, and you start to learn from your own experience too. So you have to reflect all the time. You have to reflect whether you reached your goal. So, and as I told you before, there will be challenges. For example, like if we speak about the simple thing like building daily routine, there will be challenges. There will be kids roaming around, there will be dogs that need to be taken outside, and there will be the calls from your boss, from your work, or like you're sick, or like you're tired. So there will always be some challenges. And so it's up to you how you use like all this information in order to gain more stability in your practice. Okay? So, and you have to reflect, okay, my goal is to practice every day 15 minutes. Yeah, for example. And the challenges do I have? So, and I said, like, you have to look in your mind, what inner challenges do you have? What is creating resistance in your mind? So, and like, there will be challenges, okay? And so then you look, okay, I was able to sit today 15 minutes, yesterday 15 minutes, or like I was not able to sit down today for 15 minutes, but you have to understand this 15 minutes. For example, if you choose your goal, this is very important to reach your goal, because every time you give up, so you get more discouraged, you get more fear, and every time you do not kind of do not persist, like you either go forward or you go backwards, you know. But even if you have to go backwards, so use this experience in order to go forward. So you have to critically think, why is this not working for me? But it's like, of course, at the beginning you need to rely on experienced master, or even in your sangha, people who have more experience and can share with you their experience, their wisdom. But as soon as you start to develop your own experience and you have your own wisdom, you will be able to help others. Even though you have your specific methods, but even to reach one goal, as I say, you need to develop many skillful means for different situations. So their practice flows, no matter what outer situation is. So, and everybody minds work this similar way. Of course, we say there are different afflictions that everybody's mind works, like we speak about samsaric mind, not realized mind, different so the grasp for different types of afflictions, but the machine or computer of working mind is the same. So there is program, for example, like our uh, karmic propensities, yeah, imprint. And the reason for this imprint is not recognizing the nature of our mind, and which results into loss of awareness. And so we just jump for whatever, grasping for whatever appears in our mind. So the mechanism, the kind of the program is always the same for everybody's mind. For human's mind, non-human's mind, this is how it works. So whatever appears, we have this unconscious reaction, which sometimes is dictated by our karmic propensities, and it creates new imprints. So next time we're in a similar situation, we have more, we have the same tendencies to react in the same way. So because we already have this program, and every time we follow this program imprints, like we have like more and more like stronger imprints to follow the same program. And the only way to dissolve this program or to reprogram ourselves is first to become aware that we have this program. So, and when we are working with daily situations, so we are using this very important tool of awareness in order to reprogram our mind. So first, when we speak about dualistic point of view, so if we cannot release whatever problem we have, whatever perception we have into the nature of mind, so we transform into its pure form. Yeah, so if it's anger, we transform into love here. Yeah, so we speak about love on a relative level. Yeah, so if we cannot organize ourselves, so we transform into clarity. So basically, everything that we transform in our daily life, we are using these important tools, which are like main tools for reaching enlightenment. So we're using awareness, yeah, we're using concentration, we're using love, we're using devotion. So I was mostly talking about this awareness aspect because that's what helps us to recognize what problem we have and how to apply these different tools in order to transform our program. If we are unhappy, how to become happy in life. So this can be our goal, and we can use these Buddhist principles in order to transform our daily life. So, and it's okay to have at the beginning to have this goal, because when we are transforming our life, when we become happy, we're able to teach others how to become happy. So, and so basically the main components of practice is also like we need to be able to unite the outer goal with inner goal. The outer goal can be whatever is manifesting in our outer life. Yeah, so we speak about emotions, we speak about the quality of life, relationships, or fears, or whatever brings us this dissatisfaction in our life. And inner goal is developing this, working on these qualities, like awareness, like clarity of mind, concentration, love, compassion, devotion, all these qualities that are impure, like they are present in the nature of mind. Like when we experience nature of mind, when we practice Mahamudra or Dzogchen, these qualities are present. So in working on these qualities on a relative level, we're helping ourselves to purify these karmic propensities, which will help us to realized nature of mind. So basically, what we are doing, we are accumulating merit. We are purifying our karma, accumulating our merit, and we say without merit and wisdom, it's impossible to realize nature of mind. So basically, we are accumulating merit using our daily activities. And we in order to use our daily activities, we have to contemplate it and see what problems we have in our daily activities. Pick up some small goal, something that is easy achievable. I think this might be like routine in like your schedule, your stable schedule, or this might be like accumulation of mantra. You want to accumulate 100,000 of Chinrezig mantra, or like something that you can achieve. Of course, we all have goal to realize nature of mind, to develop boundless love, compassion. So we cannot like we cannot predict when this happens, because the experience of nature of mind, we cannot plan it. Yeah, so it just happens. We have this experience when we have enough merit, enough wisdom, when we're able to concentrate on devotion. It just like happens because it's beyond concepts. So we cannot conceptually plan when we experience the nature of mind, but we can plan, like we can plan within accumulation of merit. So we can plan our life in such a way that we are able to accumulate merit, which will bring us merit and wisdom, which will bring us to the experience of nature of mind. So, and accumulation of merit and wisdom, it comes together. So basically, when we apply these skillful means to reach like smallest goals, using these Buddhist tools, yeah, awareness, love and compassion, like through concentration, calming our mind, so forth, yeah, transformation of negative emotion. This is accumulation of merit. And when we are learning this, how to apply this method, this is accumulation of wisdom. So, and in this way, we are transforming our life. And in this way, we will be able to help others to transform their lives. So this is like when I'm speaking about main components, for example, speaking about awareness, this is our goal, to develop our awareness, because like even like when we are meditating, we need very strong awareness. Awareness helps us not to grasp to the whatever appearing in our mind. And so this is aspect which we practice in our daily life. And in this way, we're actually uniting with practice of meditation and practice in daily life. And this way, we're actually practicing yogi path, which is like transformation of our mind using whatever appearances we experience. So I'd like us to have like 5 minutes break, and then if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. Okay, if you're ready, we have a few minutes for questions and answers. Do you have any questions?
Okay. Is it? Okay. Can you hear me? Lama Dawa, thank you so much for your teachings. Can you go over or describe again? You've taught us before about the Tong Len technique where we still use the Oma Hung to help us with transforming our own negative emotions or just dealing with some of the suffering, that we see around us. I think it was a Om Ahung where we were using the colors and the images with the Om Ahung, similar to what we did with the earlier meditation, but it was more specific with the white smoke and the negativity or the suffering that we're working to transform. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for question. So I taught a number of techniques on Umahum. You know what? It would be probably better if I just go over my notes and maybe we can post it somewhere on the website, White Lotus website, so it would be clear to everyone because yeah, there's so many techniques. Like I don't, and I taught to different groups, so I just wanted to. So it was like technique when we were using you say white smoke and
Yeah, I believe it was white smoke like coming into the heart and then like a red flame to transform that and then sending that out, I think through the hung, either in the belly or the heart, something, similar to that, but I couldn't quite remember it exactly. And the idea was that then we were using that as our tong len transform. And I know there are a lot of techniques. So certainly if you can post on the website.
yeah, let me go over my notes to make sure that it will be clear to everyone, and yeah, we can post like few techniques and this one too on the website.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
For people on Zoom, I will monitor the chat window, so if you'd like to type a question, we'll forward it. Okay.
Thank you. Lama Dawa, I understood that you were saying anger can be dealt with in, like, love is an appropriate replacement for anger when you're working through that negative emotion. For panic or fear, would it be the same or perhaps something different?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, the panic and fear, like all that goes into this box of negative emotions. Uh, so basically, we can use similar techniques. So there might be difference, different variations. But the first thing is to be able to recognize when it's arising, or like at the beginning we cannot maybe recognize when it's arising. It's also recognize what triggers are for that. So and then we have to develop techniques. For example, if it's fear, so whenever I experience fear, we have to try different techniques. Whether it's if it's like situation when we experience fear, maybe we can go away from the situation for short time. Like next stage would be to hold and not to be able not to react. So what we can use in order not to grasp for fear, maybe we can visualize guru in our heart center, or maybe we can visualize white Tara in sky in front of us, like hugging us, or like we can visualize ourselves in being in a lap of on laps, like, or in heart of white Tara, which creates this protective circle. And in order to become very strong with these techniques, maybe this is something we have to practice in daily life. So what I'm talking about, like if you are aware what brings you suffering, if it's like you said, this is panic attack, or if it's fear, so take it as your path. So then, like if you're practicing deity yoga, so you have to build your visualization or your practice on your, like when you're sitting meditation, and so strong that you are actually take these tools in your daily life. So if you experience like lots of fear, you practice like white Tara or any other deity, guru yoga. So like build some part of sadhana, for example, take some part of sadhana and make it really imprinted in your mind. So practice it every day. If it's like mantra recitation and you visualize yourself in the heart of the deity, and deity surrounds you with this protective lights, and it's like nothing can penetrate it. So then when your visualization is very strong, whenever you're in situation, you start, like you feel that there are triggers and you're going to experience this fear, then like if you have very big stability, if you have strong stability in your practice, bring this visualization into this situation. Or like even to be able to bring this visualization into negative situation, maybe you have to make this visualization part of your daily routine, like be able to sustain this visualization in your all activities. Then when fear kicks in, you already have this established visualization. So what I'm talking about, so you have to find, or maybe you already have experienced what is working for you the best. Okay, maybe it's guru yoga, maybe it's just concentration on an object, or like concentration on a feeling of love, so then you have to make it a main component of your practice. Don't think about that you're losing some other practices, if you don't practice some other deities, or like you don't do some other practices which you like heard about. So take one piece of practice and make it like very, very, very stable, and make it about your problem. So I say, like, if it's fear, you have to sit down and contemplate whether you had experience when something from your practice would help to dissolve fear, or like at least would help you somehow to not to lose control, full control, like not to give up to fear completely. So if it's something or that you already experienced, take this experience and build like your practice about fear, like on this experience. Make it your main practice. Do it in morning, do it in evening. So like, and then bring it in your daily life. So in situation when you don't have fear, first try to stabilize this, for example, visualization or this particular practice in situation when are very calm, when you feel safe, yeah, and then gradually bring it in situation when fear arising, or like you can also bring the situation when you have fear, or this emotion of fear to your meditation cushion. So try different methods which you think would help you to dissolve the fear. There is practice of shamatha, of nature of mind, again, guru yoga. But in order to bring it in your daily life, you have to practice in sitting meditation. Is this clear, or like you need more clarification?
This has been very helpful. Thank you, Lama.
Lama, thank you so much for teaching again. Very grateful. When we're visualizing the flame at our navels, is there a better way of breathing? Should we breathing in just normally, or can we, longer on the in breath, longer on the out breath? Should we hold it for a certain amount of seconds? I was just wondering if you could expound, perhaps elaborate on that. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Roba. So there are different ways of breathing of this exercise. So when we do it in context of 6 yogas of Naropa, of course, we learn, like we breathe in and we hold breath for a very long time. And sometimes we don't even release it completely. So like we just release, we breathe out like a little bit, and then we breathe in again. So the most important, what Garin Rinpoche said, the most important, not to be forceful, and it's very important to stabilize this visualization or this like presence of this flame. So this is like regarded as like shamatha practice. The flame becomes the object of your concentration. No matter what happens, you do not lose your concentration. So basically, when your attention goes, then energy goes. So even like doesn't matter for how long you hold your breath, if you're able to like to concentrate, like to see this flame as soon as like you decide to turn your attention to it, so then it starts working. So then it starts bring these winds to this place, and starts the prana starts entering that central channel. But at the beginning, it said it's very important not to hold forcefully and not to hold for long, because it might be more harmful. So it does not. What I mean when I'm talking about harm, it's just like you will not achieve result we're aiming for. We're aiming for like calm and clear mind. That's your kind of goal in this practice right now, and then like experience of the nature of mind. So basically what I found was helpful for me in order to not to lose concentration on this object. So I would visualize that the flame is inhaling, that it's not that I'm inhaling through like my nostrils and through side channels, but flame itself is inhaling from the side channels through my nostrils. So then my body is kind of becomes secondary, and flame is like the most important thing. Is flame is a live object, and you can visualize your guru or like deity, whatever helps you to keep concentration. So what I'm talking about, you breathe in, you hold for as long as it is comfortable. So if you can hold it for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, So as long as it's not forceful and it's comfortable, you can hold it. But do not come to the point when it's forceful and uncomfortable. And even Garshan Rinpoche, when he was given instructions on Tumu, he told us that at the beginning, for some yogis, it might seem that you need like some force in order to do the space breathing, in order to hold the air there. But this is just means to help us to concentrate on the fire. At the end, when our concentration becomes very good, so there is no need to hold your breath for a very long time, and it should be done very gently, and so the effect will be the experience of the natural mind. So does it answer the question?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He says thanks. This is from the chat room. Lama Zhuravka, when in combat on the front line in the war in Ukraine, I kill enemies, Russian soldiers, occupants who otherwise rape and kill civilian Ukrainians here. How to really effectively turn it into the path without creating a horrible karma of taking the lives of others?
Yeah, that's a very complex question, and I know that many people from Ukrainian song, I mean, those people who are on front line, they have the same experience. It's like you have to protect, but then it seems that you have to do horrible acts. But so I think it depends on the level of practitioner who is doing that, of course, and on the battlefield. Sometimes everything is so chaotic, it's almost impossible to keep concentration, like even to remember about love, compassion. So I guess there is like this frame of mind at the beginning, if it's hard to like not to cultivate anger, so we turn our attention to those whom we protect. Yeah, so and it's like also like we have like different experience and practice. So this is skillful means to conquer our anger. So because also we have to remove enemies if we grasp for anger, we also accumulate negative karma for ourselves. So if we find this is our like the issue that we cannot actually abstain from anger, so maybe it's better to concentrate on those whom we protect. Or like sometimes like when we like just going like after battle, so if you see that it's very hard to cultivate compassion during battle, so at least after battle we can go and do forward practice for those beings, so at least or like some prayers for them, even it's like after it happens, if we cannot do liberation right away. And of course, there are like skillful means of visualizing Siddhartha with protective umbrellas, or like Vajrakulaya, or any deities, or actually becoming a deity. And then, like when you are becoming the deity, this energy, wrathful energies, has compassion, very like compassionate taste. But I haven't been on the front line, and I understand that my kind of advice might be not. I hope it is helpful, and like I'm following advice of Garshan Rinpoche, what he's advising, but I haven't been in a situation when there active killing, and then you understand you can die any moment, and there is chaos. Sometimes you don't see where bullets coming from, so it's the skillful means. Maybe we have to work together, like people who are on front line. Maybe they need to develop the skillful means which would work there in that like situation when death can come anytime, when you experience this horrible thing when your friends are dying, and yeah, I know what you're talking about. So this actually requires much more, like, stronger practice, much more stable practice than in daily life, because in daily life sometimes we can't stop and think about this, but on the battlefield we cannot stop. So basically, like, I think the daily practice is also important if you are able to practice that, but also before going to battlefield, and I know that you're doing it, like cultivating yourself as a yidam, cultivating the intention, and then after coming back, like doing pova for even for enemies, we're doing for killed friends, but also for enemies. In this way, we at least we are not accumulating negative karma. That's my perception. But I think in the future we'll have to develop that skillful means for people who are on battlefield and who are working with the strong feelings, like the strong emotions, like after coming back from battlefield. So do we have time for one more question? If you have any questions.
Here's one. Hi, Jiravka. My question is, when you were telling us how to bring the practice into our daily lives when we're going around just living, do we use the foundation of the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and the 37 practices of the Bodhisattvas to help us in our daily decision making?
Thank you. That's actually a very wonderful question, because I was mostly concentrating on the techniques, yeah. But that's a concept which we based our practice on, yeah. So basically, when we speak about our own suffering that we want to resolve, or suffering or closed ones whom we want to resolve, so we use the teachings, yeah, on 6 parameters, on 37 practices of bodhisattva as a base in order to develop our kind of goals, or our like like our mini goals, like milestones, so yeah, I'm transferring my negative emotion of anger using the methods which are described in 37 practices of bodhisattva, yeah. Or like I'm accumulating merit, like I'm practicing love and compassion using 6 parameters, which is like generosity, and then I make plan like how I practice generosity on the outer level, so in everyday in my everyday life. So, and like concentration and discipline and so forth. So yeah, definitely, it's actually a very wonderful question, because like definitely, yeah, when we create goals, when we create like when we turn our life into yogi path, we are using all these teachings. We imply the concept which is described in all these teachings. Yeah. So, and also, like, for example, we speak about like paramita of generosity. Yeah, for example, my goal is to bring this paramita into my life. So this does not only mean that I go and give donations, because generosity has different levels. I share teachings, I give protection from fear and so forth. This is all aspects of generosity. So basically, when you want to practice generosity in your like when you're eating, yeah, so you are offering offering the meals. Before meals, you're reciting some offering prayer, yeah? So this is also practice of generosity. But before actually practicing it, you have to sit down and to learn this information and contemplate how you can, what forms of generosity you can practice in your life. Yeah, but definitely where you are using all these teachings in order to transform.
We're on the runway.
A reply from the previous question in the chat room. Thank you. I'm busy doing POA for my friends. POA for enemies will be another level.
Yeah, and this actually, like, I think for places which experience very intense suffering, where there is war, we need to develop some like specific methods. Like I don't say that they should be different from like what we're talking about, but maybe approach need to be different because there is lots of stress, there is lots of there is a mixture of everything and like unpredictable things. And yeah, it's like sometimes even when we're very stable in practice, when we encounter all these like terrible situations, it's hard to hold on. So we should like work on methods how to get back, you know, to stability quickly, or like what exact methods, like concrete methods we can use on a battlefield. Yeah. So now like basically like if we cannot do anything, but at least we can remember about Guru and rely on the blessing of Guru that everything will be done in the right way. So there is no negative imprints on the mind. So there is like enemies goes to enemies are their minds liberated. So basically at least before going to battlefield, just to pray to Guru, and like which I know you do. And so rely on Guru's blessings, so whatever happens, so everything falls in the path of Dawa. Okay, I guess we can finish today. So if you will have any feedbacks, because I'm just trying with this kind of system, I'm trying uh, um, like to build this frame, you know, for daily practice, for practice in our daily lives. So if any of you will have any feedbacks, I will be very happy to hear from you, like how things work, maybe like how can I improve my teachings, like what things I need to be like what things I need to explain more, or like what things are not relevant. So I will be really grateful if you will give me feedback. Okay, so and now we just start doing concluding prayers. Frank, please.
Thank you. Okay, page 27 in the prayer book. The last 3 lines on the bottom, and then the first line on the top of page 28. Okay, 27. Jangchup sem chok rinpoche ma ge manam ge jur chik ge ma yama me ma yang gong ne gong du me war shu. Now, page 32. Om mani me me hungry. Om mani me me hungry. Om mani me me hungry. Om mani me me Re Om Mani Me Om Re Ye Wani Nu Nak Chen Rei Ze Guang Rub Jui Chik Drowa Jing Yang Maluma Ne Sala Gom Harshu. Lama Dawa, thank you so much for this morning. I think it's just such a wonderful thing that, you know, we have these great teachings. And when you see the life example of Gar Rinpoche and the Tibetan people themselves, you think of what they've suffered in this lifetime. And yet out of that suffering, you know, they've shared the Dharma. One person said to us once that it's kind of like a ball of mercury. You know, these negative forces, the Chinese army thought it would smash that ball of mercury. But what happened was little balls of mercury went all over the world. So this is extremely precious, and yet there are obstacles for us, you know, cultural, we don't have a certain kind of education in these matters. And of course, there's a foreign culture, all of these things. And to keep this transmission going, even where there are kind of like cultural difficulties or ignorance, is exceedingly important. And so we thank you so much, because this is exactly what happened today. And we look forward to next time. And please, when you go to Ukraine, all our best wishes with everyone there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for your practice and for listening to me. And thank you so much for your support. You have a wonderful day, and you have safe evening and safe night and safe rest. Until the next day.
Lamala, thank you. Good evening. Good night.
Thank you.
Okay. Tuesday this week is White Tara practice. Thursday is study group, and Friday is Fickle Friday at Record Archive. So show up between 4 and 7. White Lotus is going to be promoted there. Our Dharma brother Chuck Abel's band is providing the music, live music. And Frank will be giving a little talk about Buddhism or the center or something. Something. Yet to be determined, yeah. And so, yeah, please bring your friends, family, and then also it'll be announced there, the open house. We're going to have an open house here at White Lotus on December 2nd. So that will be up on the website soon. We have so many things going on that we haven't had chance to get them all up there yet, or room for them all. We'll have to figure something out. Anyway, and also,
what I did was I shared it with all my friends, and if we all do that, we'll reach thousands and thousands of people. And if a handful show up, that'd be great.
Yep, it's up on the White Lotus website, Facebook page also. So if you go to White Lotus on Facebook, you can share that, or go to Charlie Valeska and share his, or whatever. Yeah. And today is the last day to donate food for the Irondequoit food cupboard. Charlie and Samana will be taking it over there this week and collecting it. Yeah.
There's an all-time low at the food cupboard in terms of donations.
Really? Wow, an all-time low, Charlie says, at the food cupboard. Wow. Maybe it's because everybody is having a hard time paying for their groceries in this, you know. But anyway, Samana says that there have been a lot of good donations. She thanks from White Lotus, and she thanks everyone here who has contributed to that. So anyway, we'll see you next time. Yeah. Oh, okay. See, Sunday mornings, today was the first day of going back to opening the temple at 9 o'clock for silent meditation. So if you would like more silent meditation, come at 9 o'clock or anytime between there and 9:45.
If you want more silent meditation, speak up.
All right. Frank's making his own jokes over there. Yeah, so anyway, the doors will be open here just before 9 o'clock. And you're welcome to come in and sit quietly in the temple until 9:45, at which time we'll open the doors as people will be coming for the 10 o'clock regular program. For the noisy meditation, Dave says. Okay, so that's it.
So we are waiting to hear back.
Oh, okay. So there's actually many. But for example, oh well. All right. Like for me, when I was raised, I didn't notice it before. I know we had the old one. Well, I was gonna say I have a lot of stuff. I try not to over-intellectualize this stuff either. That's not the point. Study and practice together. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, I want to do that next week. Take advantage of it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. Nice to meet you back. Yeah. Frank. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me just show.